My name is OHYUNG. I just released a record named Iowa, and for Nodes, I was performing Iowa as a visual experience in collaboration with my friend Taehee, and musically it's an ambient sort of soundscape with feedback going through the record and trying to bring it to life in a live setting in a compelling way.
Hi, I'm Taehee Yoonseul. I was invited to be part of OHYUNG's performance as a VJ. I provided audio-reactive visuals, also layered and remixed with Iowa music video, where it showed like Midwest landscapes and like open sky and a lot of like abstract visuals that's like in conversation with all the soundscape.
So I am both a film composer and a solo artist, and both of those paths have grown simultaneously and sort of fed into each other. So a lot of things that I write for film that don't make it in, I'll like sort of use it in my personal music. And so Iowa, there's a lot of things from the film, me working on films that never made it into films, but I'm like, these are sounds that I would love to use in something. And so working on Iowa, just developing these like textural ambient soundscapes. I drew a lot from work that I did for films, and also just personal experiences and sound recordings from my time in Iowa. I grew up in central Pennsylvania, which is very Midwest culturally, and I spent a year, 2 years ago in Iowa City, and made this ambient record there. And while it was inspired originally by Bruce Springsteen, someone from New Jersey made a record called Nebraska. Like as a joke, I was like, I'm gonna make a record about Iowa that has very similar album art, but in terms of like the sonic element, it's very different. But all of it, there was like a subconscious effort to evoke my time there and the experience of the landscapes, the people, and like my parakeets at the time that I was living with, they would sing in the mornings and I would record them, and the wind chimes. So certain like memories. And every month for 15 minutes they run a test of the tornado siren at like 10 a.m. on like a certain Wednesday. So every Wednesday at a certain time I would like run outside with my phone to record it. And so like that, it took me like 5 months to get the right recording, but it came through and I put it on the record. So just like assembling a lot of different sounds and performing it live. I have a lot of these big sub bass drops that are sort of supposed to represent these fractures in the beauty of the American landscape, that like there are these dark undertones to like American history and American politics, and performing it live is very satisfying, like especially when a venue has like a big sub. It really helps me immerse more, and it's really nice to create just the atmosphere in a space. And the last track is dedicated to Chris Guersema, who passed away when I was there in 2024, and he brought a ton of experimental musicians and like amazing curation to Iowa City, and he had like one of the most beautiful memorials I've ever experienced that really showed me a path to like how to live a life as an artist that is community forward and lives and breathes like avant-garde experimental music. So I just wanted like to have his memory and like imprint on my life in the record in some way.
A few years ago, I was interviewing. I feel like it was like more like a dialogue with other trans artists who are going through gender affirming voice training or medical surgery, and then just like talking about what's their relationship with their voice and the need for this transition. But during that process, happy accident kind of happened. So while I was transcribing the dialogue, the transcription got glitched, and all of the final result of the text were like very enmeshed. Even though it was just only two people talking, it kind of recognized the background space as also another people. All the speakers' conversation were all very mixed in, which I'm like, wait, I like this. Even the machine is like trying to decipher what makes like human. So I really liked that moment of glitch, and I decided to embrace it. And around the time, I got reconnected with OHYUNG and just like sharing my project, and that really led to like more collaboration, making music video, and just really thinking about creating like visual container for this sound. So when I first received all the video footage from OHYUNG, it kind of felt nostalgic because I also lived in Midwest as a teenager, just like going around parking lot, hanging out with friends, also like really wide open sky, shopping mall and also just like wide field. OHYUNG's landscape footages, all the other abstract visualization, they are audio-reactive, so they also kind of embracing the sound and surrounding itself. So layering and remixing on top of it, going along with OHYUNG's like performance, like each track. Some of them are more relaxing and like kind of like euphoric, or there are some moments that's like really more tense. And also I'm letting my visual kind of interpret responding to that sound on its own.
So we performed this record 2 times now live. The first one we did at a church in Ridgewood, which was really incredible, especially drawing a lot of samples that are like Christian choral samples, cutting them up and sorting them and having those fill a church. It was a really wonderful experience, and Taehee's projections were like huge on the altar. Also, this is the second time we've collaborated on this project, and I feel like the performance itself is a lot of research for us in figuring out what works, what doesn't. Like this time I came into it being like, let me play with feedback in this space a little more and seeing how that interacts with the synthesizers in the speakers, like how they sort of crush together. All the proceeds for buying the record or the vinyl online go to Iowa Trans Mutual Aid Fund, which is really important in this era.